This Musibi you're talking about, that, and you even asked me the question, have you been to the farm, when you've got an answer. Kenny can say whatever nonsense he wants to say. He must repeat that in court.
Julius is calling this man Molefe names. But what is interesting is that the man who is late now, who was the businessman of Molefe, Julius would drive at 12 midnight, at 2 o'clock when that man calls and drive to his farm.
No ways.
Drive to his farm.
Oh, who's the man?
Mswazi.
Oh, yes, the late.
Julius will drive to his farm.
Dino Gang, the farm in Dino Gang?
Yes.
Whoa.
After Venterfeld. Julius will leave the bedroom here of Mazoti and drive to that man's house. Julius paid protection, I don't know from who.
Who's Mazoti?
Now, this man and that man were friends. They knew each other. So now that that one is dead and this one has a problem, you are now saying this one is this one is that, this one.
Don't ask me that question. That's Kenny's question. We'll ventilate his nonsense in court. Because he doesn't have an answer. He says, I'm suing him for calling me a boy. It's not true. I'm suing him for saying I'm at the center of the cartel. But when the brain has moved from the head into a stomach and increased your stomach, then we've got those such problems. You can't think. You can't read. It's not only kids now. It looks like we do politics with adults who can't read for a meaning. He must go and read the papers again. He's being sued for saying, I am at the center of the cartel. Meaning, by implications, he says, that big 5 drug cartel you are looking for, I am one of them. He says that. Now he realized he has spoken nonsense. He leaves that. He says, no, he's suing me because he says I called him a boy. And because he knows you don't read, you're going to repeat after him. Read, just read. Read papers. The papers of the court are not difficult. What is difficult is when they start arguing about a case law. But the papers is a storytelling. This one said this one said that was a storytelling. How can storytelling be difficult? You don't get involved. If you are that lazy, don't go to legal arguments, leave them. And just read the storytelling. Or, and like, le pantiti le ba le suela eng. Then you will understand, man, when you are excited like a child in a podcast, and you said Malema was at the center of the cartel. So we want you to tell us how does Malema become part of the drug cartel? In supporting his evidence, he says, I took 80,000 to the farm and then a bottle of whiskey to pay a protection fee to the cartel. How do I pay a protection fee to myself? He said, I'm the cartel. I'm at the center of it. I take money to pay myself and then ask myself that, please protect me. No one must attack me. I seek no protection from anyone. No one. And then I'm suing him again for saying I stayed at Mazoti's back room. I never stayed at Mazoti's back room. Even my wife never stayed at Mazoti's back room. That thing is a, what do you call it? 4-cluster house. My wife's rented house was in front of Mazoti's house. So before you go to Mazoti's house, you pass my wife's house, if that's what he meant. If that's what he meant. So, but he can't see what's happening in that thing. He can't imagine a white man staying behind a back room of a black person. If by Kenny's description, that's a back room, it means it was Mazoti staying at Mantra's back room. Because the house of Mazoti is at the back. Mantra's one is in front. He's got no, he doesn't bring any evidence. He brings some aerial photograph He can't tell which one of those houses is Mandra's house. I never stayed in Hyde Park. I stayed in Cape Town. I've got a house in Cape Town. My wife stayed there. I work in Cape Town. I don't work here. I work in Cape Town. I get paid in Cape Town. That's where my job is. But when I'm here, where I sleep is none of your business. The customer chooses about to marobala. Or a robala guy. The utra or a bonoro robeji guy. I could do it. So there are so many issues that I'm dealing with there. But I've been to the farm of Musibi because when General Cartel spoke about it in Parliament, he said, even Malema spoke at his funeral. I said yes. In the ad hoc committee, I said yes. His funeral was at his farm. So why should it be a story now that someone tells you a story for the second time that I was at the farm? You was at the farm. Peggy Cartel said it in the ad hoc committee. I said, yes. 3 of us spoke there. I spoke, Mbalula spoke, Peggy Cartel spoke. How did I know the old man? I knew the old man through there when they were engaged in a strike here in Johannesburg. I can't remember if it was which year. At the center of the protest of the taxis at the time was Taxi SA is refusing to give them shareholders, yet they're the biggest customers of Taxi SA. The Taxi SA is nothing without them. And I happened to know Zeh, who was involved in those negotiations. And then Zeh held a party at this place. I went, I can't remember where I was from. And I didn't know this man, but I was like, there's just something about this guy. They said, no, this is Musibi, the boss of taxis. So it made sense to have taxi people there at Zeh's party because Zeh works with the taxi SAs, the one who do deals for them and all of that. Zeh helped only to find that Zeh helped them to break a deal. And then they got 25% of the shares in the Taxi SA. So this Musibi we are speaking about is a shareholder of a registered listed company called the Taxi SA.